All right, you swiped right, you matched, you hit it off. The first date is planned, and now the nerves are setting in. So our next guest is here to help and has some tips on how to avoid dating a man-child. So everybody, please welcome Dr. Viviana.
Hey guys, how are you, Tori?
Very well, lovely to see you. We need some help here, Doc. We want to start out with, how would you just describe a man-child?
Okay, this is a supposed full-on adult man who exhibits a lot of the same behaviors that maybe a prepubescent or even child would exhibit, like someone who's very self-centered and is very egocentric. Everything revolves around them. They're only thinking about themselves. Or maybe somebody who feels like immaturity is something that's for someone else, not for them. These are the sorts of traits that you'll notice in these man children, and a lot of women have had it.
Yeah, I know many girlfriends and I over wine have discussed this in depth. Let's talk about some things to look out for. I want to start with responsibility. Talk to me about that.
So typical man-child is going to put responsibility on just about everything on someone else. They outsource all of the tasks, even some of the emotional work that goes into being in a relationship. They kind of just assume she'll take care of it. My partner will take care of her needs, right? I don't need to be in charge of that. I've got my own stuff going on. They tend to expect that their partner will take care of all of the, gift buying and foresight and planning. Yeah, typical man child.
Yeah, that's the invisible load we're also hearing a lot about. Now, I know that disagreements are inevitable, right? They're going to come up. What should someone look out for, though, during an argument? What are some red flags for you?
A lot of defensiveness in these man children. It's never their fault. They cannot take responsibility or accountability for their own actions or how they made you feel. Yeah, they're going to say, that's on you. I can't help that. You need to deal with that.
Okay, so y'all, when you hear that, that's a ree, ree, ree. Now, being an adult, right, ree, ree, right, that's a big red flag according to the doc. Now, being an adult has more to do than just with your age. Talk to me about what we call emotional maturity. I want to hear your thoughts.
So this is self-reflexiveness. For a lot of us, we put ourselves and are put into situations where we do have to reflect on our own feelings and our own actions. Man children tend to avoid those situations. If anyone's pointing the finger back at them, they're pointing it right back. So yeah, you want to make sure that when you're feeling like you're working on your emotional maturity, you might even get some feedback from the people around you that you trust and love. It could be your mom, it could be a friend, it could be a colleague that you trust and respect, and just say, hey, how do you think I am with emotional maturity? A man-child would never ask that because they don't want to know the answer.
Ah, that's really good to know. Okay. So growth is healthy, of course, for both people in the relationship, but this can be confused with the charm, right? Charming men. Tell me about that, because that can be, it can slip right in there. You know what I mean? Tell me what you think about this.
So being charming, obviously when you're courting someone, you're kind of dating, especially at the very beginning, it's par for the course. We all do it. But if they're not able to slip into a more vulnerable place at any point, if they're never sharing maybe what some of their flaws have been or some of the mistakes that they've made in past relationships, that could be a sign that you're with a man-child.
Ah, okay. I'm writing all this down. I hope you guys are all too. You can find Dr. Viviana's book or learn more about her classes and coaching, including her new Vivid coaching program at drviviana.com, or of course, follow her on Instagram at Dr. Viviana. I am so thankful for this, and I think our audience is too. Take the notes, listen to the red flags, trust your gut, no man-child.